and welcome to the daily English news program on Azerbaycan Television. With your host, Rövşən with the most important events of the day. President İlham and First Lady Mehriban Aliyeva visited the Alley of Martyrs on 31st anniversary of January 20th tragedy.
President İlham and First Lady Mehriban Aliyeva paid tribute to the memory of those who had sacrificed their lives for the freedom of our country at the Alley of Martyrs. The deployment of the Soviet troops against the masses of people who, having been outraged by the territorial claims of Armenia and the patronage of the leadership of USSR to Armenia, took to the streets and squares of Baku on January 20th to express the objection, led to unprecedented tragedy. The massacre of peaceful civilians who took to the streets for the territorial integrity of their country, the murder of innocent people as a result of mass terror, showed to the whole world the criminal essence of totalitarian Soviet regime on the eve of its demise. The savage act of terror against Azerbaijani people, implemented by the military machine of the Soviet Empire, went down in the history as one of the most ruthless crimes against humanity. The tragedy of the 20th of January, which resulted in big losses and murder of innocent people, also showed the fighting spirit, the resilience and the pride of the Azerbaijani people, who were not putting up with the treacherous policy of the criminal empire against our country and who were striving for their freedom and independence. January 20th is not only a day of tragedy in the history of Azerbaijan, but it is also a history of honor. The people on that day became the shield against the horrendous ghosts and managed to show the dignity and tenacity. These events directly demonstrated that the people of Azerbaijan were eager to fight for the restoration of their violated rights and sovereignty. Unfortunately, both USSR and the then leadership of Azerbaijan did not take any measures to bring to justice the perpetrators. Worse than that, they did whatever they could to cover it up because they themselves were the direct organizers and participants of this bloody crime. Heydar Aliyev's visit to the representation of Azerbaijan in Moscow to share the grief of our people and his denouncement of the bloody campaign against Azerbaijan by the Red regime was a kind of support and sympathy for our people. The people felt that day that they were not alone during those difficult days. With his statement, Heydar Aliyev in reality gave an assessment to the processes unfolding in Azerbaijan. He brought to their attention that the USSR leadership was not acting in good faith towards Azerbaijan. He also criticized the government, saying that the appointment of people who were servants caused a great divide between the people and the government. The creation of this divide first of all served to the interests of the central government and was the cause of all the future problems, especially of the 20th January tragedy. After a while, with the initiative and leadership of the nationwide leader Heydar Aliyev, the Supreme Council of Nakhchivan Autonomous Republic gave a political and legal assessment to this event on the 21st of November of 1990. After the demise of the government and restoration of the state independence of Azerbaijan, the Azerbaijani leaders who were preoccupied with the struggle for power did not carry out expedient work in order to investigate the causes of this grave crime committed against our people and bring to justice the perpetrators. Only following the return of the nationwide leader Heydar Aliyev to office, the events of the 20th of January received political and legal assessment at the state level in 1994. So, the 20th of January went down in the history of Azerbaijan as the peak of heroism. Our people gave unprecedented sacrifice at the end of the 20th century, but gained history accompanied with the exceptional will and bravery and perseverance of the national spirit to be proud of for centuries. Years passed by. The successes of those who paved the way for the independence on the bloody night of the 20th of January created reality by liberating the occupied territories, and the Iron Fist claimed the victory. It is an unbelievable feeling to be a citizen of the victorious nation and our glorious army showing unprecedented examples of heroism under the leadership of the Supreme Commander-in-Chief instilled this feeling in all our people. Now we have an image of the victorious people and we created this history as a nation. This is a triumph of self-confidence and exultance in one's own eyes.
First Vice President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, Mehriban Aliyeva, made an Instagram post in connection with the 31st anniversary of the 20th January tragedy. In a post on her official Instagram page, Mehriban Aliyeva says, "I respectfully commemorate the memory of our compatriots, the innocent victims of the January 20th tragedy, who gave their lives for the freedom of our motherland. May Allah rest the souls of all our martyrs." A commemoration ceremony dedicated to the 31st anniversary of the January 20th tragedy has been held in the city of Shusha with the participation of the servicemen of the Azerbaijan army. The memory of martyrs was honored with observing a minute of silence. The national anthem of the Republic of Azerbaijan was played.
Azərbaycan, Azərbaycan, ey qəhrəmanı vətəni, səndən ötürü can verməyə cümlə haciz, səndən ötürü qan döşməyə cümlə qadiz, müstəqillik bayrağınla məsul yaşa.
During the event, the historical significance of the January 20th tragedy was emphasized. Detailed information on the successes of both national leader Heydar Aliyev's and President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces Ilham Aliyev's policies to raise the world community's awareness about the tragedy was conveyed at the event. Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Turkey shared a post regarding the anniversary of the January 20th tragedy on Twitter. The post reads as follows: "We commemorate our Azerbaijani brothers who gave their lives for the independence of Azerbaijan on January 20th, 1990. Turkish Foreign Minister Mevlut Çavuşoğlu wrote on his official Twitter page, "Carnations, which are symbols of martyrs, bloom today along with the Har Bülbül, the symbol of the free Azerbaijani land. Live happily under the tricolor flag, dear Azerbaijan." Victory Day of our national will, 31st anniversary of January 20th, was also commemorated abroad. Even if the number of people was limited due to the pandemic, Azerbaijan's diplomatic missions, diaspora activists, honored the memory of our martyrs.
The memory of the sons of the motherland who gave their lives for the independence of Azerbaijan and rose to the peak of the martyrdom was commemorated at 12 p.m. Baku time with a minute of silence in Brasilia, Turkey. Employees of the diplomatic mission at the Azerbaijani embassy in Turkey, representatives of other governmental agencies expressed their deep gratitude to the souls of our holy martyrs. The embassy, diaspora activists and local non-governmental agencies also held online conferences in regards to the anniversary of January 20th. Victims of the January 20th tragedy were commemorated in Moscow as well. Our compatriots honored the memory of our heroic sons and daughters by laying fresh flowers on the memorial stand with a list of our January 20th martyrs in front of our embassy. A stand reflecting January 20th martyrs and this bloody date was also created in the foyer of the building of our embassy in Russia. Laying flowers in front of this stand and the bas-relief of Heydar Aliyev, Ambassador Polat Bilbiloğlu said that the terrible night will never be erased from the memory of our people. The memory of the martyrs of January 20th was also commemorated in Paris. Employees of the Azerbaijani embassy in France and our permanent representation to UNESCO diaspora activists visited the graves of founding fathers Ali Merdan Bey Topçubaşov and Ceyhun Hacibeyli resting in the cemetery of the Seine Cloud in Paris. Detailed information about the bloody events of 31 years ago was given. It was noted that those who had lost their lives during the events of January 20th with their martyrdom revived the ideas of independence and freedom which were born 80 years ago. The ceremony was also attended by Deputy Mayor of the Saint Cloud district of Paris, Sigolé de Lermain. Expressing satisfaction with the fact that one of the most important pages in the history of Azerbaijan is connected with the region he represents, the representative of Mayor's office said he had detailed information about the events of January 20th. The Karabakh victory was a fair result of the just cause of all our martyrs. These views were voiced at the commemoration ceremony dedicated to the anniversary of the January 20 events at the Azerbaijani embassy in the People's Republic of China. The event, attended by our compatriots and students living in China, commemorated the martyrs of January 20 with a minute of silence. It was noted that the January 20 tragedy is one of the bloodiest days in our modern history, as well as heroic page of our people. At the end, a film about the January 20 tragedy was shown. The participants of the event viewed a photo exhibition reflecting the events.
332 infections with novel coronavirus were registered in Azerbaijan. 897 people who carried out treatment and were released home. 12 people who earlier tested positive for COVID-19 died. The overall confirmed cases in Azerbaijan have reached 228,028 with 217,617 recoveries and 3,044 deaths. The number of active infections is 7,367. To detect new infection cases over the past day, 7,991 tests and overall 2,336,498 tests have been conducted in Azerbaijan. The task force under the Cabinet of Ministers reported. That was all for the day. Thank you for being with us and see you next time.